Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ramble Box show.
Yeah, that's the
show.
Yeah.
Today we are again with another hypothetical. On my left is João.
It doesn't matter the camera; it's still your left.
Right.
No, right to there.
And right to my right is Philippe.
Hey! João is being mean to George.
It's the staple of our friendship.
Well, yeah, it's reciprocal as long as it goes both ways.
Yeah, it's fine.
Consent, everybody.
I think that I think in the end was a bit like.
Are you sure about that? What the fuck are you doing today?
You have something for us, right?
You should have.
Yes.
Your phone. You should have.
I have another hypothetical as per 2 episodes ago. 1 episode ago? I fuck if I know.
So it's not the phone.
You thought he was gonna give you a phone?
I'm sorry for misleading you. Stupid fuck. Okay.
Oh Jesus!
Being mean, this is okay.
I think you only have been mean to him. He hasn't been mean to you.
Because I'm the only one brave enough to do it in front of a camera. Okay, so the hypothetical for today, love you man, is...
It doesn't.
You are the leaders of a shadow government and must control the population of the world without violence and without taking direct agency over the people.
So we are BlackRock investment.
Damn, George.
I shall proceed.
Damn, George.
What kind
Jesus. Jesus.
of new social constructs would you create to generate biases in the population you can exploit?
That's fucking evil.
Yeah, man.
It's Evil Inc. Let's go.
Let's just say, very nice, George. Very nice.
Yeah, that was good. That was good shit.
Very, very topical.
Very poignant.
Oh, poignant is a much better word.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Okay, so
I told you, like, the last interlude, I barely know Portuguese. More so English.
To summarize,
Yeah, that's a really hard one.
you're
Like,
puppeteering the entire world.
Yeah.
So you're slowly creating some social constructs with the idea of manipulating the people through the biases they develop.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Man, I have to go back to the good old ones. Like, I have to make sure...
Don't say it.
No. It's not. No. The good, it's really whole. It's like, I have to make sure they believe we should rule them. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you have to go back to...
Interesting approach. I didn't say you needed to subjugate them. I just told you had to control the population.
Yeah, they want...
You could choose, like, let's construct, in a very convoluted way, a new form of government. We could actually make the world a better place. You're the one who went to fief them. So,
Yeah. I didn't say they have to obey me, but you said I have
they
to
should.
control. No, you said we have
Yeah.
to keep control. So
Yeah.
to keep control, you have to go back to stuff like divine right, where you make them believe
That's
you need to be there.
I thought you were going 1984 route, but no, you went
Old.
old shit.
So you can't convince people of divine right nowadays because they decided religion is not cool anymore.
Yeah.
So
What about drugs, though?
drugs are nice.
That actually happens now, right?
What do you mean?
I mean, this is conspiracy like territory, but
Okay, let's do it.
I don't have a tinfoil hat.
My sources are questionable.
My sources are questionable.
I just like to point out that Ugo is in the corner shaking his head.
It's the best argument starter. My sources are questionable at best.
just to note, this is what happens when you leave the table. All hell breaks loose.
Oh my God,
But,
please.
Some agencies have been MK Ultra, for example.
Oh, but MK Ultra is not a conspiracy, is it? Isn't it?
Ish, I guess.
Wasn't it?
Wasn't
it proven?
I was going to say something else, but MK Ultra just popped
up.
on my head.
MK Ultra, there's documents proving it.
Yes, there
Like,
are.
yeah, it happened. MK Ultra was like I don't know if they used it, but they had plans for it. I don't know for sure.
I don't know, man. I think we've gone off topic for some reason.
No, because we're talking about
Yeah, just my brain just short-circuited.
Population control.
Yeah, and drugs came.
According to Wikipedia, it was planning. They were planning on actually understanding it. Yeah.
They were planning. CIA, right?
CIA.
Yeah.
We want to go into that?
Huh?
Because I think I'm very knowledgeable about this.
Oh, I don't know the exact plans.
I think it was like infecting the water, tap water with LSD or something.
Yeah, it was stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Because people...
Yeah, but...
You can't bitch. Yeah.
So, you would be poisoning the water supply. Very Silver Age comics of you. And...
But with not with a weird chemical, just drugs, my guy.
Yeah, make people happy and overdose and shit.
Just some LSD. Have a nice time, you know?
Yeah.
Imagine what a fucking 3-year-old is having an LSD trip after drinking water.
That's
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
So
leave it to the CIA.
So we would go for drugs to make the people more susceptible and more dependent. And through that, make them believe that there's a higher power and you are that higher power?
I wouldn't
Are we still
really go...
talking about bias and fallacies?
I wouldn't really go to drugs. I'm being honest. I wouldn't really go to drugs because I think drugs... First, forcing people to drink the drugs is hard. In a sense that even if you poison the water and stuff like that, like, how do you guarantee each person takes a non-lethal but still effective dose? You can't.
Okay.
So you're gonna be killing a bunch of people and making a bunch of them not high. So it's gonna be a mess.
Okay.
You know, so like this is not real. And like, how could you convince them to take them in the situations that you could then use their heightened state or like to then manipulate them? Like, you couldn't, you know, you couldn't control all of that. Like, you would need to have already a ridiculous amount of control over the population to be able to do that.
Exactly. But if they become dependent, maybe you could get some kind of lever or...
you could use drugs as a way. But like, okay, then we're going back to the CIA. Like, they have used drugs to create, you know, instability and disrupt. Like, there are documents saying the CIA used like cocaine and that to disrupt communities, like Afro-American communities and stuff. Like, they used it as a way to like, you know,
emancipate them. Basically.
Like, stop them from...
not emancipating. Emancipation has a different...
Yeah, emancipation is like freedom.
It's freedom. You could emancipate a 16-year-old, so they would be legally considered an adult before they reach the legal age of adulthood.
Okay.
That's emancipation. You would essentially be doing a level of population control and manipulating.
It's basically making sure that the environment they live in is so dangerous and unsafe and chaotic that they feel like they need you to feel, and in a sense they can't organize themselves, and then you have an excuse to use force on them,
right?
And then you have an excuse like to go do raids on and make their house even unsafer and make them feel even less at home. And the more you make them feel like they're fighting for survival, the less time they have to, you know, challenge you, in a sense.
That was a good tangent.
But so, this hasn't got to do with bias or fallacies or social concepts. It's more of just...
One thing that may help in our plan to control a population is the media.
The media is the best.
We're going back to the media.
Well, the media... The fuck are you saying, motherfucker?
The fuck are you disagreeing about? Huh?
No, yeah, the media is the basis for it.
Yeah.
Like, whatever people are watching, reading, listening to is a...
I straight up think that confirmation bias is the best tool.
Yeah, but confirmation bias is like the problem with confirmation bias is you would have to support their beliefs, and you would have to support different people with different beliefs that they both want you there. Or they both want what you want. You know what I mean?
I mean, if Fox News is doing it, you could just buy the other, the opposing networks and do the exact same thing for different audiences. So it,
but what I'm saying is that it's possible. Countries do it all the time. It's trying to play both sides, but it's hard, dude. It's hard to play only to there are countries do this all the time, many times going into emotional bias is easier, like playing with fear and anxiety. A lot of people say, it's a weird topic, but a lot of people say the last time the United States was really united was after the 9/11. Fear was on high, dude.
Yeah.
So people felt like they had a common
enemy
challenge, in a sense. But that's an example of where a government used bias. I saw an example, they used that fear to basically pass all those invasions, basically. People accepted them.
Right.
Stuff that might have not been accepted prior to 9/11 now was easily sold to the American public as a defensive act, in a sense. And stuff like the Patriot Act that allows them, that gives all those intelligence agencies the ability to spy on you and a bunch of stuff. They accepted all those limitations on their freedom and on their privacy because of fear. And they probably wouldn't have accepted that without 9/11. So when we're talking about how your mind is emotion
plays. This is the second episode in a row where we've mentioned 9/11. What the fuck is going on?
The first one was...
The first one is just a little thing that showed up.
It's still the beginnings of a pattern. I don't like it.
It's just George bringing a bit of himself to the podcast. Yeah. Please, accept it, please.
You are accepted. You are safe.
So in a sense, that's what the media does really well, is play with your emotions. Is pull your fear and anxieties so you will believe with what they're saying.
That actually reminds me of the framing bias, which, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the way you...
I will not.
The way you perceive an information, the first time you perceive an information in the sort of way, it's the correct one. So, if
being first to present an information has a huge advantage.
Yeah, exactly. So, if you present the information in a certain way and you are the first to present it, people will believe you much more easily than if you were the second one and you presented the information with another perspective.
You're wrong now. No, it's kind of it's the idea that when you have no information about a topic, you will just
the first one that shows up, it's
considered the right one.
Probably the right one.
And then you accept it as the basis, as the status quo, and then challenging that in your mind.
Which I do think that there's been a push, or not necessarily a push, but I feel like society, from what I've seen, has tried to fight that bias, or I'm seeing it, right? When there's problematic news, every now and again, I see people, this was the first piece of news that got out. We don't have the whole information. These newer sources say otherwise, so we don't really know what's true or not. But this seems more likely than the first one.
But that's another tactic of the media.
I see the
confusion.
But no. I don't mean from the perspective of the media. I mean from the perspective of the consumer.
But
from the perspective of the consumer, I see the challenge. They challenge the information that they're given. Which I think helps against that.
Then we would have to go individually. Maybe for them it wasn't the first time they saw the information. In a sense that the event is new, but maybe it challenged the preconceived notion they had.
Right.
So maybe they are suffering from confirmation. We're not talking framing is like the first time, because when you look at it, you immediately go for a defensive or anything, then it's not the first time in a sense. You know, that's kind of the deal. When you read a comment, you don't know if the person is suffering from whatever bias they are.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? So that's kind of... So, but we're talking about very much cognitive here. And what I was talking about the emotional is because when you're in emotional distress, all these cognitive biases turn to the fucking moon, you know? Like, you are much more susceptible to all of them.
Right.
When you're in emotional distress. So that's why I'm talking about if you put people in this kind of, what the media kind of does nowadays, constant emotional turmoil. Everything pulls and has to pull an emotional response. And preferably an emotional response that's viewed negatively by the person. So an emotion that you would not want to feel, like sadness, anger, or anxiety. And especially anxiety and anger, because they are usually fuel for action. Like anxiety usually triggers information seeking, and you will accept any information that plays down the anxiety factor. So you're anxious about, I don't know.
We have the COVID.
Yeah, you're anxious about COVID. So I tell you that if you rub your belly and 100 times a day, that will make the probability of you catching COVID by like 50%. You'll believe it because you're really anxious about COVID. So the probability of you falling into, you believing, whatever plays down the anxious, whatever you're anxious about, it's more likely that you'll believe it. Because you're trying to manage, your information seeking is a way for you to manage your anxiety and is not something you are doing for yourself. So you're much more susceptible to biases. And that's what the media tries to do in a sense. Like, they're trying to be the first on the scene, and the scene is your fucking mind. And they're trying to make you feel anxious and more open as possible to what they are trying to say.
Right.
So, those are very smart choices to go for in attempt to control people. Like, but this is not nice. You're not trying.
The more we're talking about it, the more I think that this will end up in a 1984 route. Because, listen here.
Yeah,
you said higher power. Big Brother.
Yeah.
Right? Galvanizing emotions.
Yeah.
1984. That's exactly what happens. We need to be at war. There's an enemy. We need to be vigilant of each other. It really does feel like that's exactly where this scenario would go.
Yeah, because you told me we need to stay in power.
Yeah.
And because the moment you said we're not trying to better someone's life, no, we need to stay in power. And if we need to stay in power, if that's our only objective, then the card we're gonna play is we're gonna create a very uncomfortable scenario for people where they feel like we are the saviors.
Right.
In a sense.
Then let's switch the script then.
Okay.
We are the shadow government, but our objective is to... You okay, man?
Yeah, I just had to burp, sorry.
We are the shadow government, and we want to make the world a better place. How would we go about it?
I think we just need to burn all this shit down. Just burn it all down, my guy.
Start again.
Just start fresh.
Fucking napalm it all.
Not start again, but
Clean slate.
Yeah, but some blocks are gonna need to be fucking brought the fuck down.
There's something called capitalism. There's something called there's a lot of things that need to be brought down.
Do you know what's the problem with this? Is that we're a shadow government trying to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
We're a shadow government.
Yeah.
So, the undemocratic way we are doing this...
I'm not saying that it's the right way. I'm just saying it's the way you have it. You're fine.
Guarantees that we'll make a bunch of mistakes. So, at the end of the day, we humans really don't like to feel like we're being played. We don't mind being played. We just don't like we don't like to know that we're being played.
I think...
You can play me, just don't tell me you're playing me. So, in a sense, I kind of, that's kind of the issue in a sense. Is like, I agree with George. Capitalism is a problem. I agree with.
Here's the thing. Not capitalism as we know it, as we see it happen, because
that's my problem. It's capitalism as it exists.
It's
Which is neo-capitalism, right?
No, it's neoliberalism.
Right.
It's like me. See this knob here?
Neoliberalism
it's capitalism.
is bigger than capitalism. Neoliberal, but I have a problem with capitalism as a whole.
This knob here is capitalism. Okay, what's happening right now in the world? I'm turning this knob up to 10, which is max. Okay.
Yeah.
We need to turn it down, people. Okay.
Oh, they can see the knobs.
I think they can.
Oh, nice.
You can
There's a knob here in case you can't see.
So
Yeah, knobs.
yeah, okay. But so this is the problem with the shadow government, right? I don't agree, George. I don't like capitalism at all. So, but I mean, in a sense, like that's kind of the issue. If I'm trying to make the world a better place, I don't want to control people.
Okay, I understand. But I'm telling you have to.
Then
Figure it out!
then we're not gonna make a world a better place. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
What's a better place for you, John? The bad
You can...
Sorry, Jesus.
Okay, I'm going to take this from a perspective of a morally compromised protagonist.
That was fucked, by the way.
That was fucking basic.
Yeah, I'm really sorry, guys. I'm really sorry.
Okay, so I imagine myself as a morally compromised protagonist who truly believes that what they're doing is right. So, I'm just gonna... Okay, so where am I going to attack this? Let's see. Using the media sounds like a bad idea. Which is exactly why I'm going to use it. Because morally compromised protagonist. So, essentially, using education to create some level of... To create some... What's wrong today?
I don't know what's going on, my guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can tell you.
Honestly, the more I think about it, I would probably use the exact same tactics, but directed at different people, which would go exactly into the same direction.
That's bad.
Yikes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't reach a better place with this kind of tactics. You know?
You could, but here's the thing. I have very different opinions. I think we are very in the moment. Okay, pick up your pitchforks and put my head on a fucking stake. Okay.
You said pitchforks, but I thought you said bitchforks, which to me was fucking great.
What's a pitchfork?
Pick up your pitchfork. I was like, what the fuck is that?
What's a pitchfork, my guy?
You're enticing a mob against you. Is what you're doing.
Here's the thing.
Would you?
We conform too easily to things because we were probably made to adapt to those new rules, right? We were born. Imagine you were born yesterday, and these are the rules that you have to live with, and that's life, right?
That's life.
Here we go.
Okay.
Hunter-gatherer, okay?
Okay. You would turn civilization back around.
I'm really fucking lost here. I'm gonna be honest with you.
He's saying fuck civilization, we're going to be hunter-gatherers again.
Okay. Have you watched Avatar, Korra?
Yes.
So you're like fucking Zahir.
Oh, you're going for anarchism. Okay.
That's Zahir. That's basically what Zahir talked about.
Like there's no rule.
There's no borders, there's no nations, there's no nothing. He says something like a person is only bound by himself and the people he loves, basically.
What the fuck is that?
What the fuck is
minutes.
Yeah.
left or recorded? Okay, we have time. So, what I'm saying is that I profoundly disagree with that because I feel like that conformity that you're talking about is not just conformity; it's the ability to live in harmony, in a sense.
Okay.
That I feel like humans, it's our biggest strength. is literally our biggest strength. Is our ability to build societies is our biggest strength, in my opinion, because we're quite squishy.
I agree. I agree.
Quite squishy.
I agree with you, but we are quite squishy. I could beat a fucking lion to the death, though.
No, you can't. A lion, apex predator.
He might. He'll just die after.
Sorry. Do you have a gun?
I have a stick.
No, he might kill the lion.
Yeah,
He'll
you
just die right afterward.
But I would prove a point.
I will die on any hill.
What the hell was?
Yeah, sorry, I was gonna.
You are right. I guess conformity is one of our biggest advantages. That fucking ripped. That was it.
What's going on?
There's a
feel like
small
this
tear on the paper here.
However, the French.
I feel like I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, but someone ripped it. No.
What the fuck is going on?
Please continue.
Here's the thing.
These guys are distracting us.
The French are protesting about something as we.
At the moment, yeah.
They are about
It's
Retirement age.
retirement age.
Yeah, it's something.
It doesn't matter. It's fucking French things.
Yeah. I like that way of not destroying private property.
Which could be fun.
I didn't say that. Okay?
Yeah, I did.
He didn't say it couldn't be fun. He just said he doesn't agree with it. But it's probably.
We should take you to a rage room sometime.
But I think maybe because we Portuguese are way more. We like football. If my team loses, I'm gonna fucking throw rocks to the team bus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if the state increases the taxes overwhelmingly,
Yeah, that's what.
if the energy company makes something trillions of quadrillions of the heroes in profits,
Yeah.
by Jesus Christ, I'm going on a fucking.
Yeah, I saw the anger.
I understand what you mean. We
conform a lot.
Our culture specifically is very, very like.
Oh, the gas is like €3 a liter. Oh, fine, I need the gas, so I'll buy. I'll buy it.
I need the gas, so I'll pay it.
I'll be angry, but I'll buy it.
Yeah, I understand what you mean, and in a sense, action has always been a hard thing to, transform anger and discontent into action itself is hard. I think France first has a much bigger culture of doing it, has much stronger unions than us.
Yeah, but they really kept that revolutionary anger. Since the revolution, it became a great part of their culture.
I think at the end,
which does help.
I think at the end it always comes back to first it's cultural differences, but I think that in a sense it's a bit of conformity as well. It's like I want to protest whatever it is, but I don't want to go alone.
Are you saying that it's a bit of a sheeple mentality?
No, we all. It's not sheep if we're all fucking sheep and there's no herder. You know what I'm fucking mean?
Is that a herd?
Like, it's like we're like the herd moves with itself. Nobody's herding it. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're all part of the herd and we all affect the decisions of the herd, but we're all affected by the decisions of the herd. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no...
I do.
There's no shepherd. There's no one above everyone else.
Okay, so it's not a herd, it's more like a hive mind.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit like the difference is like that. I think that their unions are stronger, and then so it's easier for them to organize themselves this way. I think in Portugal you had this with the teachers.
Yeah,
and with some unions in Portugal that are quite strong, you can have that, but in general, you don't as much because you don't have that kind of culture as much as them. But again, I think it comes back to, this kind of ability to, like, get together, organize. in groups, in a sense. And I don't mean it in a, like, I'm in a group and you're not, you're an outsider. I mean more like getting into a middle ground or finding common problems.
This is what we want. We'll band together to get it done.
Yeah.
That sort of mentality.
That's kind of like everything what a democracy is supposed to defend, right? So, but at the end of the day, no system is perfect, right? In a democracy, a majority rules. If the majority wants to kill the minority, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's what you want, but you know what I mean? It's like it's majority rule.
If the majority exists, it's something that, if the majority accepts it, then it's okay.
Yeah.
It's right.
It's correct. It's like, for example, when we're talking about socioeconomic, the current socioeconomic
standard?
Like reality, it doesn't benefit the majority of people. But
it benefits the minority. Not the right minority, but minority.
But the majority of people believe that it's the best they can do. So the majority accepts it.
Oh, it is what it is.
It is what it is. But the majority accepts it. And it must accept it. It must.
I see.
That's at the end of the day, if you're a minority trying to control a majority, they must feel like wherever you're giving them is the best for them. It might not be good, but they need to feel like it's the best for them.
Right.
They need to feel like they have too much to lose. Like a lot of people, like mainly like middle class or a bit upper, never would want to risk a lot messing with capitalism because they feel like they have a lot to lose, because they feel like they are stable.
Mm-hmm.
And they feel like, my life could be much better, but I feel like I have a lot to lose. And these are decisions made like looking at yourself only, in a sense. But that's kind of, and they slowly lose economic power, but they feel like they are better losing this trickle of power slowly, because they feel like if they change something, they'll lose it all.
Right.
And then it's easier if you're at the top to keep just saying that that's what's gonna happen. And you can do that with different things like immigration, whatever, and say like, if this happens, you're gonna lose it all. Because at the end of the day, we tend to be risk averse. We don't tend to be risk averse, but we tend to. Our bias comes in a lot when we're trying to make a decision that's very complex, and we don't really know what's gonna happen at the end. So we choose the one that we feel like will hurt us the least. So, and these are the topics where bias is really strong. It's like, we're talking about very complex things that are unpredictable and for which we have not the total information. We have very little information. So we can't know which one to take. And we don't know exactly which will be the outcomes of each decision we make. So we're gonna be very biased to like, this one feels like I'll lose less. So
it feels to me like the conclusion for this episode is it's complicated to use biases to control a population and not turn out 1984.
Yeah, but we're still being so.
Oh well.
so be aware. Just be aware, because
I'm not planning on controlling a population.
No. I'm saying that the systems you are in right now might not be doing it. I think some of them are doing it consciously, but some of them are doing it just the system itself is trying to protect itself in a sense.
Right.
So
it's like antibodies trying to protect the body.
But they are systems of power that are trying to stay systems of power. So they will use these tactics. Mm-hmm. They will. You're not 1984, but they use them, in a sense, because they want you in that kind of,
I feel like we should talk about how to identify those bias and those fallacies.
I think we should, but I don't think we have the time for that, right?
Yes, we could leave that to the next episode, maybe, perhaps. So
Watch,
maybe,
baby.
Yeah, but no promises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No
maybe
promises.
we cut it out here, wrap
Yeah.
it up,
Yeah, that's fine.
and go
Yeah.
home.
Please. I've been stuck here for years.
Fuck off.
That's it.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
You can support the show by subscribing to our YouTube channel or listen to us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you want more, you can follow us on Instagram at RambleBoxOfficial. That's at RambleBoxOfficial. Or you can check for more content in theramblebox.com. That's theramblebox.com. Links are in the description. That's the end of the show. We'll see you next time. Bye!